What's good, everybody? My name is Stefan, and welcome to Courtside Talks. This episode is going to be strictly in English, dedicated to the late Dejan Milojevic, who suffered a heart attack prior to the game in Salt Lake City, where the Golden State Warriors were supposed to play the Utah Jazz. Before we begin with anything, I'd like to once again give my sincere condolences to Deki's wife, son, family, and closest friends. We are very, very sorry for her loss, and we acknowledge your grief. And God bless you in the future. Dejan was more than an athlete and more than a coach and an assistant coach. He was, before all, a great person, which we can see by the messages and prayers sent to him after his passing. Prior to the first home game where the Warriors played the Atlanta Hawks and altogether paid tributes to Dejan Milojevic, there was a game in Belgrade which apparently God had it that way that his past two clubs played against each other. We're talking about the ABA League, where Partizan, the club he played for, played Neka, the club he was a coach for, in the previous round of the ABA League. And prior to the start of the game, for roughly about 15 minutes, both of the clubs paid their respects and tribute in celebration of Dejan Milojevic's life, which was very touching and very one of the biggest attendances to any game in the ABA League, or any game for that fact, in the Belgrade arena that ever happened. Dejan was for sure one of Partizan's favorite and all-time best players. Even though not being tall enough to play a center, his character and will to fight proved everybody wrong and made him one of the best players in Partizan to ever play the game. After playing his last season for Partizan, Dejan Milojevic became the coach of Mega Basket, and under his coaching rose a star, Nikola Jokic, which is one of the best NBA centers of all time, all thanks to Dejan Milojevic and especially his game. Finally, Dejan set sail to America, where he became the assistant coach of Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors, where he tragically finished his career at the age of 46 due to suffering a heart attack. Prior to the first game, which the Golden State Warriors played at the Oracle Arena after the event, the Golden State Warriors came out with the jerseys with the Milojevic last name on their backs, and Atlanta Hawks also had brate on their shirt, which means brother. And the Golden State Warriors will be playing with jerseys that have a heart with DM, the initials of Dejan Milojevic, until the end of the season. In these moments, even a week after the event, it's very hard to find words to describe the feeling that we feel inside. We all in Serbia expected Dejan to become one of the main coaches, if not the main coach of the national team of Serbia. With his character and with his charisma, that was something that we all expected, and of course with his knowledge and what he had to bring to the table. So unfortunately, we will not live to that day, but of course he will always stay in the hearts of all Serbian people, and each day that passes by will always be like, what if? To keep things short, Steph Curry and Steve Kerr also gave interviews after the game and expressed their feelings for the loss of Deki, or Dejan Milojevic.
We know Deki would love nothing more than to see us go out there, compete, and have fun as best we can.
Well, Deki had an amazing way of being very direct and honest without threatening anyone.
And it's a very tragic event that happened, but we will make sure that his legacy goes on. And according to that, the ABA League, which is the Mediterranean Balkan League for all of the clubs, including Partizan and Crvena Zvezda, decided unanimously to change the name of the MVP award for each season, which will be called the Dejan Milojevic MVP Award, starting yesterday. Also, the court where Mega Basket plays its home games will from now on be called Dejan Milojevic Court, playing home games, which is an amazing tribute, and by all of these means he will never be forgotten. So Deki, rest in peace.